Welcome to the physics class. Today we shall discuss about spherical mirrors. All of us have used spoons in our life. Take a new stainless steel spoon, hold it in your hand and try to look at your own face into the spoon. First from the right side, then turn it and see your face from the back side, that is the curved surface of the spoon. What do you observe? Yes, your face will appear to be distorted and funny. So this is because of some light phenomena that happens when it falls on the curved surface. A spherical mirror is basically a sphere made up of a reflecting surface. Here on the screen you see a circle of radius r and center O. This is a spherical object in 3 dimensions. When you cut a part of the spherical surface, what you get is shown in the below diagrams. So you have two curved pieces of the spherical surface. You have to polish one side of it so that one side remains reflecting surface. When the inner side is polished, what we get is a convex mirror. When the outer bulged part is polished, you get a concave mirror. So, you have the reflecting surfaces like maybe the outer bulged part or the inner curved part. So, we have two types of spherical mirrors, convex mirror and concave mirror. Please note where the center of the mirror is lying. Center of the mirror is O and it's lying on the right hand or the left hand side of the mirror. Let's see what is a convex mirror. In this diagram, you have Mn as a part of a convex mirror. AB is the object which is placed at infinity. Infinity means it is a very large distance. So when light comes from such an object at infinity, it comes as parallel rays of light, which is shown by the horizontal lines parallel to each other. These blue lines have arrows which imply the direction of the propagation of light. So these rays come and fall on the mirror surface. When it falls at one point, say D, at the point of incidence, we have to draw the normal. Normal is the perpendicular drawn which will pass through the center C. So, DC is the normal drawn at the point of incidence. The ray of light will obviously get reflected back and is shown as the ray DG, which is moving away. Here you can see angle I and angle R marked, which are equal. We extend this reflected ray in the backward direction to meet the point at F. Let us look at the second ray. The second ray also gets reflected and when pulled back, it meets at point F. Look at the fourth ray and the fifth ray. Similar things are happening. The rays fall on the mirror, they get reflected and we have to extend them backward to meet at a point that is F. Now why we are extending it backward? We use dotted line for extension because they are not the real ray of light. The ray has already got reflected. This is a geometrical construction that we are doing to study about some important points. How about the ray that is coming exactly along the straight line? Point P on the mirror is called as the pole of the mirror. This line PC, which is extended, is called as the principal axis. So the light ray which is coming along the principal axis falls on the mirror at point P. Note that here the angle of incidence is 0 because the light ray is coming along the normal. Since angle I is 0 angle R must also be 0. Hence, the light is retracing its path. That is, it is going back along the same path. That's the reason why only for the central line you see arrows pointing in the two directions on the same line. Now, the point F where all these rays are meeting, they are extended to meet, is called as the principal focus. The distance CP is actually the radius of curvature of the mirror, denoted by capital letter R. Distance PF is called as the focal length. The fact is, focal length is equals to half of the radius of curvature. So this is the basic information about the image formed in case of convex mirror. Now let us look at the concave mirror. Here Mn is the concave mirror, AB is the object located at infinity. The light rays coming parallel to the principal axis fall on the curved surface of the mirror. Let us look at point D. When the ray falls on point D, it gets reflected and the reflected ray is passing through the principal focus F. Here we need not extend it because the ray is actually passing through F. The second ray also suffers reflection and passes through F. So is fourth and fifth ray. The central ray, which is coming along the principal axis, falls on the mirror at point P and retraces its path because angle I and angle R both are equal to 0. Now this point F where all the rays are meeting is the principal focus, which is again half of the radius of curvature. So PF is the focal length, which is equals to R by 2, that is PC upon 2. The difference in a concave and convex mirror is that in case of concave mirror, the focus lies in front of the mirror where all the rays are actually meeting after reflection, whereas in case of convex mirror, principal focus lies behind the mirror and the rays of light do not meet at F. In fact, we have to extend the rays so as to bring them at the point F, that is imaginary. That's all for today. See you in the next class with some new topic. Till then, goodbye.